Today we're going to be looking at some running backs who made it through the NFL draft unscathed, and now they're going into the 2023 season without any rookies to contend with. Similar situations to 2022, and ready to rock and roll. With the NFL draft being the way it was this year, a lot of teams skipping the running back position, letting the running backs fall. Pretty much, even if you did not need a running back, the values was starting to get very enticing, and pretty much all 32 teams could have pulled a trigger on any of these top running backs, considering they just kept getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. The economics of this means that there are so many good running backs here that they could let some fade and take advantage at some of the other positions, some defense, some O-line, whatever they needed, and pick up another running back later. This caused a cascade effect of some of these running backs to fall. I kind of predicted this before the draft, however, not to this extent. I think we really overvalued what this draft was going to look like for the running backs, but here it is. We have some late round running backs to look at from this year's rookie draft class that might do a number, but we have some veterans here that we're going to take a look at today that went unscathed and are looking up. I'm going to look at 6 running backs today. There are probably some more that went unscathed that you want to talk about. Drop those in the comments below. I look at all these running backs as buys and sells, so whatever you're looking to do with it, I want to hear about it. Drop that in the comments as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping Dynasty Fantasy Football content daily. Whether that be videos like this or clips of your favorite rookies, I'm here for you. But let's dig in. The first running back here that went unscathed is Naji Harris of the Steelers. And they also have Jaylen Warren. We're not going to forget about him because he's also good, especially for a UDFA last year. Really gave the Steelers a good return on the investment. Harris played injured last year, and that impacted some of his production. With that being said, with them looking at running backs on the cheap in the draft, it could have been easy for them to pull a trigger on one of these running backs. They did not. So Naji Harris is going into the season as the lead dog with Jaylen Warren there as well. These two guys are going to be able to hit this backfield and take carries in 2023. Harris had 3 RB1 weeks last year and 5 RB2 weeks, so it wasn't a horrendous season. It's just people had higher expectations. Warren came out the gate here, had 2 RB2 games last year, but was really able to give you some production considering the price tag of entry. Warren is being valued as RB65 in ADP right now, and Harris is the RB12, so you're not seeing much price fluctuation right now. However, if you have them on your rosters, you're feeling good, and the price fluctuation of where they're at, you can really determine what you want to do with these running backs going forward. The next running back we're going to look at, he went unscathed in the draft. A lot of people were wondering what was going to happen in his position because of where he got drafted in last year's draft, because he was a day 3 pick. Damien Pierce of the Texans. Again, day 3 picks. The odds of them getting surmounted or having a younger back come in with good draft capital are higher compared to other veterans with high draft capital due to no sunk costs being invested. But Damien Pierce went unscathed. They already had Devin Singletary there, so maybe they felt good. Also, they were trying to bolster other positions. They signed Xavier Valade, UDFA, but they did not draft any running backs of consequences. So Damien Pierce is going to get another year as being the lead dog, and that might leak into 2024. We don't know, but we got one more year here. That's something to look at, so he should have a heavy workload going into 2023. Devin Singletary should be getting some of that passing down work. So going into this year's draft, it was scary thinking about what this backfield could look like, because they have mentioned that they do want to run the football. When you want to run the football, you want running backs, but it looks like they're going to run it through Damien Pierce and with some Devin Singletary, which is good for 2023. And he's got RB23 ADP, so his average draft position isn't jumping the moon just yet. Had 3 RB1 weeks last year, 6 RB2 games. So not too bad when it came to the production. Maybe he can be used more in the passing game. We got a new coaching staff, new quarterback, a lot of new over here. His team's developing, but we have to see going forward. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm just expecting these guys to be both buys and sells because of where they're at and the change or not change in their situations. So moving on to our next player here, crafty veteran who has been productive older veteran, but blew up last year, blew the doors off. We're talking about Josh Jacobs. And this team could have really drafted another running back, another 4th rounder, 3rd rounder, whatever, to really drive in another wheelhouse in the backfield, another guy. But they didn't. So this tells me they're looking to run Josh Jacobs into the ground another year. They're looking to give him that workload. Had 9 RB1 games last year. Very productive. The only thing that's going to steal his workload is the injury bug. That's hit him a few times in his career and at Alabama. So that wouldn't be a surprise. But Josh Jacobs is in line for a heavy workload, and nobody was going to debate that. But the draft said, nah, you're getting the work. Another running back here that is looking like he's going to get a huge workload. And it's going to be huge depending on if this team brings in another running back, because it could happen. This is Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys. Huge winner from the draft because they didn't draft any running back of consequence. They did bring in Deuce Vaughn in the 6th round, but there's a big difference between Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn. And then also Tony Pollard with his injury. This is also a sign, just a indicator that he could be coming into the season healthy, that they feel good about it. Because look at this depth chart here. We got Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn, Ronald Jones, Rico Dowdle. So there's not much insurance if he goes down, if he starts the season off slow. So that is a good indicator that Tony Pollard might be okay. They feel good about Tony Pollard after the surgery, after the injury. They feel good about that. So that's something you want to look into. They did not draft any other alpha running backs. It's Tony Pollard. We got Deuce Vaughn there, of course, but they did not draft anybody to hurt Tony Pollard. Another veteran running back who's now on a new team. And the draft could have changed things. This team's out in a retool period. They're developing. They're trying to change things out. That is Miles Sanders of the Carolina Panthers. New quarterback, new wide receiver. Got some O-line there. No running backs of consequence. Sanders didn't receive any competition, so he should be all right going into the season. Saw a headline today. They're looking to get him 50 catches. We'll have to see. We had some changes there. Chuba Hubbard's still on the roster, so we have to see how that's going to integrate. But they did bring in Bryce Young, Jonathan Mingo. We're going to have a developmental period. They're probably going to use Sanders. They paid him. They're going to use him. We got to see how much. And they did not bring in another running back, like I said. And they did not take advantage of the running back discounts in the 2023 NFL Draft. So we're going into this season with Miles Sanders being the dude with Chuba Hubbard right there as well. We talked about this running back the other day. He can be productive, but he's also getting older. He's also had some injuries on his career. That's James Conner of the Cardinals. And the thing about him is he went unscathed. This is huge for him, especially this year. This might be the last hurrah for his dynasty stock. This might be it. It's what you want to do with him. But he is in line to be productive if he can stay healthy. 5 RB1 weeks last year, 4 RB1 weeks in 2021. So he can put it together in short bursts. Potential 1-year rental if you need one. But also a guy that you need to be leery of as well due to age, due to injury history. But if you're looking for a younger running back that went unscathed, that might have a pop in his value, or might be inflated so high that you're ready to sell, depending on what you want to do with the market. Look at James Cook of the Buffalo Bills. The team brought in Damien Harris, so both these guys went unscathed. We're going to talk about both these backs. They didn't get any backs drafted of consequence to compete with them, so it looks like both these running backs are going to be able to run free this year. Devin Singletary's gone. There's going to be more targets freed up in the passing game. James Cook looks like that could happen. Damien Harris should get his run as well. I could see both these guys having their moments, being valuable in fantasy. The Bills spent a 2nd-round pick on James Cook. He's the young running back. He's the guy Dynasty gamers are looking at. So he could see a spike in value, especially as this dust settles. A lot of gamers will look back at these backfields, look at the depth charts, and they'll see the young backs looking like what they could do in the 2023 season, especially when competition is limited, because they did not bring in any other running backs of consequence. But those are 6 veteran running backs who went unscathed from the NFL draft and are looking good going into 2023. They're maximized here, and that could create a buying opportunity or a selling opportunity depending on what's going on with your league, your market. There are also other running backs that probably benefited. I want to hear about those in the comments. I want to hear what you're trying to do with these running backs. Drop that below. Don't forget to subscribe on the way out. It's just going to help you build your dynasty teams. It's going to help you get information, see clips of players. So I don't see why you wouldn't want to do that. I want to thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.